So one of the reasons most casual players don't end up being that good at the game is because they can't spend enough time on it. This can be for many reasons. Personally, for me, I wasn't allowed to play on any other days but the weekends and Friday. So I was pretty bad, but then I found something out and it's basically made it so I could grind so much more. So as you've seen in the title, I've actually found a way to play Hypixel Skyblock on my phone. And there's probably a few things that you're wondering, and this is not a remote desktop tool. So this is not like me connecting to my computer from my phone and controlling it. This is actually playing Minecraft straight from my phone. Java Edition, straight from my phone, even with mods and texture packs. But before I get into what it looks like and how you can do it, please consider subscribing to support the channel. I'm trying to get 16,000 subscribers by the end of the year because I haven't uploaded in a while. So if you can do that, that would be great. And I've decided that if we can get 1,000 likes on this video, I'll do 1 hour or more of grinding per 1,000 likes. So if you get 1,000 likes, I'll do 1 hour of grinding cane. I know this is absurd for me, so that's why I put it so high. But if we end up reaching it, then that's something to look forward to. And back to the video. So now a little history on the subject. Before the application I'm using right now was created, the main method to actually play Minecraft PC or Java Edition on your phone was using a plugin that was on a server which would reroute your Minecraft PE connection to Minecraft PC servers or Java Edition servers. But there was one fatal flaw with this that made it so I would never try it. So as I said before, this is actually you playing Minecraft PE, but in Minecraft PC or Minecraft Java Edition servers. And there's one big problem with that. Minecraft PE is Bedrock Edition, and this means it would work for all types of Bedrock Edition. And the thing about Bedrock Edition is that it differs a lot from 1.8.9 Java Edition. In Bedrock Edition, hitboxes are different, almost everything is different blocks. So it was really buggy and they had to make you seem legit just using the plugin's code. And I've heard of a lot of people who tried this and it worked for a bit and then they ended up getting banned. And I didn't want to risk it because I had so much time spent on this profile. So I ended up just thinking, yeah, that's cool, but never trying it. Then the other day, I was just watching some YouTube and I scrolled into my subscription feed and I just refreshed and I saw this video by A6D talking about how he was able to play Minecraft Java Edition on his phone. At first, I thought this was just one of those videos where they say, oh yeah, I got Java Edition on my phone, but it's really them just connecting to a remote desktop to their computer and just controlling it from their phone, which I thought was kind of lame and kind of useless. So I usually didn't disregard videos like this, but for some reason I was bored and I clicked on the video and it wasn't a remote desktop tool. See, the application in question here, MC in a box, is actually not a remote desktop tool. It actually runs the Java Edition Minecraft from within your phone. So it's kind of like if you were to download Minecraft and run it on your phone. So it's nothing like any of the other ways that were previously used to get Minecraft to run on your phone. I then tried to install it on my phone and I actually got it to work and it actually runs pretty well. There's a few inconsistencies and a few things you'll have to fix up to get it to work well, but after a bit of tinkering with all the settings, I was actually able to do some cane farming on my phone. So before I get into what's good about this, I'm going to talk about the few drawbacks that come with using this strategy or this app. So the first thing is performance. So I talked about how you could actually get some good FPS and I was able to get good FPS with it. The one thing that's bad about it is that it actually runs real Java Edition. I did say before that's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing if you don't have a very powerful phone, because this is not anything like Minecraft Pocket Edition. It's not running Pocket Edition. So if your phone is able to get 60 FPS or 120 FPS with Pocket Edition, that is in no way gonna show how well this is gonna run. You could have a perfect phone running Pocket Edition at completely insane FPS, and then try this and get basically like 20 or 10 even. So one of the biggest drawbacks that I haven't mentioned yet is that it only works on Android. You have to download a custom file or app onto your phone. So if you don't have an Android phone, you can't do this because Apple doesn't allow you to download external apps, and this makes it so it's not possible on Apple. Maybe someone with a jailbroken phone might be able to do this eventually, but for now, the only way to do it with this method is through an Android phone. This is one of the reasons the Pocket Edition method is still in use a little bit today, is because a lot of people use Apple phones, and this Pocket Edition method means you only have to have Pocket Edition, and any device that can run Pocket Edition can run Java Edition. The thing is, it's very risky and you could get banned, but it's also possible that you won't. So try it at your own risk. So that was basically most of the drawbacks, but if you have a good phone and it's Android, you're pretty much good to go, and you can start grinding Skyblock on your phone, which is pretty insane if you ask me. Just a quick disclaimer, this is not like really good, and it's like good enough to replace your PC. I have a PC that runs on a stable like 30-40 FPS, and after playing on my phone, I 100% agree that even on a stable 20 FPS is better than this laggy controlled phone version. So don't think of it as a replacement, more as a side way to play Skyblock basically whenever. So first thing you need to know is that this gameplay was recorded on an S10, and an S10 right now is about 1 year old, so you could probably get some pretty stable, better performance if you got a very current gen phone. But I also tested this on an S8, and it's playable in the sense you could grind Cane, but if you try more than like a few minutes, you might just like get like really laggy. Because one thing I noticed in both versions I was playing is that after about like 20-ish minutes, it started getting laggier and laggier, and it was still playable when it got to the laggiest point on the S10, but for my phone, the laggiest point was not playable. So right now, you should probably be seeing some gameplay of me ending up logging onto Hypixel using my phone, and you can see that the FPS here is not that bad. I actually used the joystick to control because I feel like the D-pad is a little bit finicky, but playing, you can actually see I get some decent FPS, and even though it's a little laggy when moving from teleport pads in this case, grinding Sugarcane is actually pretty easy. So I actually have to use this virtual keyboard to jump and go down, and it's very finicky. So I recommend getting it very much like finished and completely set up for when you know you're about to grind. So in a bit, you'll see that I actually get into the Sugarcane Farm. So now you can see that I'm actually in the Sugarcane Farm, and I'm actually grinding pretty seamlessly. One thing to note is that it kind of bugs out the text a bit, and I know it's not the biggest problem, but if you're trying to replace this as your main way of playing Skyblock, I wouldn't, because you can not even read chat messages. But I was able to pretty easily grind Skyblock just on my phone, grinding some Cane and getting my farming XP up, which is pretty neat. And being able to do this makes it so when you're like at a bus stop or you're, let's say you're at your school and your school has Wi-Fi and you're just waiting outside, you can go boot up Skyblock, start playing, and maybe grind a few 100k farming XP before you head home. So it's pretty awesome for that. And even if it's not the most playable experience, it's just good enough to farm Cane, and maybe you can try some other things, but for now I just stick to Cane because it was a very simple and easy task to do from within my phone. One of the other things you might have noticed is that I had a no particle pack on, and this is because it increased my FPS by a lot because the particles were taking so much of the screen, and by taking those away, it actually increased my FPS by a good chunk. So I'll link the guide I used to do this in the description if you want to try it out. And one thing I would tell you is to make sure that you set your RAM size as 499. The guy in the video will tell you to 512, but I noticed significant better FPS and more stable playing when I put my RAM size at 499. So I recommend you trying that also. Obviously, if it lags you more, try 512, but I noticed that just taking 13 megabytes of RAM off, I noticed a pretty significant FPS boost. So it's cool and all being able to basically grind sugarcane on your phone, but if I don't have a good phone, I obviously won't do that. So one of the best methods I found to using this is just AFKing. If you ever wanted to AFK on your island, but then your parents will tell you something like, oh, you can't leave this huge computer on in the night, it's such a drain of power, and stuff like that. Being able to run it on your phone, even if it's like 1 FPS, just being able to get your like Minecraft player character onto your island is just insane. That helps so many people and makes it so much easier to AFK. So even if you're getting 1 FPS, if you can just log into your Skyblock island, just plug in your phone like you're going to sleep every day and just leave it running. It's basically the same as if you just plugged in your phone and you went to sleep, but now you get to AFK. So it's basically just an added benefit to going to sleep as before. So this is one of the best things I found out by using this, because it even allows players who have worse phones, so like very old, like even S7s and S6s and any other old Android phone, to actually be able to do this and find a use for it. So that's basically all I've got for you today. Please make sure to comment, like, and subscribe if you did like this video, and I'm daily uploading, so make sure to stick around, and goodbye.